Hey guys, Alicia here with the Earthy Girl Experience. Thank you guys for joining me, and happy Capricorn season to all of my fellow Capricorns out there. I know it's been a while since I've been on here and actually did a reading video, but I wanted to do a video for one of my favorite R&B artists, Aaliyah. So of course, if you've already clicked on this video, then you already know what we're talking about today. New Year, by the way. If you're watching this is January 1st, 2025 at the time of this filming of this video. So happy New Year to you guys. But I felt like with 2025 being the year of completion, in numerology, obviously we know that the numeric system is actually just 1 through 9. And so collectively, we're all moving into year 9. And that is symbolized as the number of completion. Now, this is actually my very first time doing a celebrity reading. I hope that I am able to do due diligence for Aaliyah. But one of the reasons that I felt a strong connection to do a reading on her, because I know that there are tons of other readings that have been done on Aaliyah in the past since her passing. But the reason I felt called to do a reading on her is because I felt like, obviously, with all of the news going on here lately with Diddy and Sean Carter, there's been a rise of questions regarding some of the things that have happened that Diddy has been allegedly involved with when it comes to wrongdoings that have occurred to people, but also anybody who is in the R&B and hip hop, into that type of genre of music, and if you've been into that genre of music for a very long time, then you know that there are pictures out there on the internet of Sean Carter taking photos with Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah is a Sun Capricorn. Not sure for other placements off the top of my head right now, but I know she is a Sun Capricorn Sun, and so am I. Now, the day of her passing was actually a very important day for myself, because I actually had a really bad car accident the same day that Aaliyah transitioned. And so the astrology, when certain transits take place, it can affect certain zodiac signs collectively. So of course, me being a Virgo rising, honey, I had to go back and do a quick little deep dive into the astrological alignments that were taking place at that time. Because like I said, when it's a lot going on in the stars, it can affect certain, zodiac signs collectively. And so we know that Saturn was in Gemini at the time. It was definitely opposing all Capricorn placements. Pluto was in Sagittarius at 14 degrees at that time, definitely impacting Capricorn placements. Mars was also in Sagittarius and conjunct Pluto at the time. And then at the time, North Node was in Cancer. So we know that Cancer is the opposite of Capricorn. And then finally, we had Uranus and Aquarius, which sextile Capricorn placements at that time. So overall, Pluto's opposition, Saturn's influence, and the North Node in Cancer definitely made this a transformative but a really challenging time for Capricorns. So there were a lot of themes of endings, rebirth, and the need to balance emotional vulnerability with external obligations. These were very prominent during the time for Capricorn placements. So a lot of this may have marked a period of profound personal and professional changes for Capricorn placements. And I felt like in that moment, at that time period when Aaliyah transitioned, I feel like that Capricorns in general probably were experiencing and going through experiences that may have been a bit challenging for us. And so on the same day of Aaliyah's transition, I had a terrible car accident. By the grace of God, I survived. My car was totaled, but I survived. And as a result of that, I ended up actually being diagnosed with a brain condition due to that car accident that happened on the same day Aaliyah had transitioned. And I actually didn't know that she had crossed over, because I had been at school. I had went to work right after school. So I had been at work, and my accident happened after work late at night on the way home. And I actually didn't know that Aaliyah had transitioned until after I had got home after the accident happened. I never went to the hospital because I survived. I didn't have any broken bones, and I didn't feel the need to go to the hospital at that time. So by the time I made it home that evening, which was about 11 o'clock at night, that was when I turned on the TV and saw that Aaliyah had transitioned. And I never really just thought about it on an astrological level, but I'm grateful that I'm still here, but I could have been traveling up that ladder with her.
The upper room When Jesus.
That same day, God spared my life. You know, that's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to actually do this video, because I felt a strong connection to Aaliyah, because we both experienced very traumatic experiences on the same day. The only difference is that her experience took her to the other side, and God spared my life in that day. Also, we're both Capricorns, and it's Capricorn season, so okay, who else am I gonna choose to do a reading on right now? None other than Aaliyah. So shout out to, you know, Aaliyah, her spirit, her energy. Like many others who are fans of her, we adored her music. We still adore her music, and we appreciate what she provided to us here on the physical realm when she was here, and her talents and gifts. And even after her passing, people are still moved and still touched by her music. People still love her as if she's here. So the energy of that has never gone away, and I'm sure she feels that on the other side. So I felt like with everything going on in the news, in the entertainment world, all of these truths being revealed, with us being in 2025, you know, it's always been really a mystery about what happened to Aaliyah. You know, was it truly an accident? Was it a setup, allegedly? You know, what really happened? And so I want to take an opportunity, since we are in Capricorn season, to just tap into the energy of Aaliyah and just to see what she has to say. Maybe I know her energy has been pulled by so many other people, so I want to respect her energy as much as possible. But you know, with it being our season right now, if she has anything she wants to share to the public, I definitely want to allow her to come through. So before we really get, because I've already had a card flip out, so before we really get into the reading, I do want to just take a moment to cleanse the energy just really quickly. And I just want to ask that my spirit guides step in and only allow those energies that walk in the divine light of God to be present in the moment. Also ask that not only am I protected during this reading, but that those who are watching this video are also protected during this video as well. Okay, and I ask that those energies be returned and go back to where they came from once this reading is complete. So I'm just taking a moment with a little bit of this Palo Santo to just cleanse the space and invite that energy in of Aaliyah. Okay. And thank you, God, for allowing me to be the vessel to, you know, channel and speak to Aaliyah this evening. Thank you. Just want to take a moment to get the vibe right, y'all. Just bear with me. All right, y'all. Let's get started, okay? So the first card that came out here is the Two of Cups. And that card represents love and friendship, beginning and starting a renewed friendship. It also indicates passion and union, marriage and cooperation. It also deals with that Cancer energy. So that deals with family, right? We know Cancers love their family. They love to be relationships. They love marriage, you know. Most Cancers do. Maybe not all Cancers, but most Cancers like that. The next card that came out is the High Priestess in reverse. This one talks about ignorance and lack of understanding, acceptance of superficial knowledge, also short-sightedness. So I wonder, are we talking about a relationship here as it pertains to Aaliyah? Who is she referring to, right? Who is it that was being ignorant? The next card that comes out is the Devil card. And of course, that is related to Capricorn energy. And we know that this reading is about Aaliyah, so that's validation for that Devil card. But it also signifies, that Devil card signifies a downfall or lack of success. And then the next card that came out after that, the Chariot card, it came out in reverse. So it is, and that represents failure and defeat or sudden collapse in plans. So far, what I'm picking up energetically here is Aaliyah referring to her relationship, her personal relationships. I feel like in this case here, because that Two of Cups, right? When we're talking about love and friendship here, and that passion and that union, I feel like, you know, she could be very well referring to her relationship with Dame Dash, right? We know that she was in a relationship with him during the timing of her passing. But there is some ignorance there. I feel like she is, with that High Priestess card there in reverse. And again, that deals with water energy, that deals with emotions and cancers. So I feel like she's coming through very emotional about that relationship, and feel like that there may have been some lack of understanding there. And I feel like whatever was going on, there could have been, yeah, some short-sightedness. Definitely there was the downfall there, that devil card there coming out representing that downfall, right? That's her coming through. Now also with the devil card here, not only does it talk about a downfall or a lack of success, but it also talks about having a weird experience and an unexpected failure. So I feel like this definitely is in relation to her accident, her untimely passing, because, I feel like for her, it was a very weird experience. Clearly, I could see how she could feel that way, because from allegedly, she did not want to get on the plane. She did not want to get on the plane. She felt weird about getting on the plane. She had a weird feeling about getting on the plane. And allegedly, it is said that she was actually carried onto the plane. She was given a sleeping pill, allegedly, and carried onto the plane, which means if she was asleep when the accident occurred, then that would be, again, a weird experience for her, right? Falling asleep in the third dimensional realm, right? The last thing your consciousness remembers is falling asleep in this realm and then waking up on the other side. So I'm sure that was a very weird experience for her, because, I'm sure most people that transition, whether it's an accident or depending on how it happens, I'm sure most people probably are able to understand what has transpired when they transition, because they can remember those moments, right? They can recall those moments on the other side that happened up until, that period. But I feel like for her, because she was allegedly carried onto the plane while she was asleep, that it was a very weird experience for her, definitely. Also, that devil card talks about being unable to realize your goals. And obviously with her untimely passing, that halted her goals, right? That halted the journey that she, or the plans that she had in place for herself. She was unable to realize those goals. Obviously that devil card, with that devil card there was a lot of controversy that took place surrounding her passing. And I feel like she was very unhappy, obviously, about it, because it was something that was unexpected. Like, you don't expect to fall asleep. I mean, I know most people who probably transition in their sleep don't expect that as well, but when you've already allegedly stated that you don't want to get on a plane, and you've made that very clear that that's something you don't want to do, and it still happens, and you get to the other side, I'm sure there was a lot of confusion trying to figure out what happened. Why did this happen? So then that next card, the Chariot card in reverse, talks about failure, feeling defeated. Again, a sudden collapse, right? Just feeling like everything was just halted. All of her plans, everything that she was planning on doing. And I think that goes back to this Two of Cups. She was planning on, allegedly, from what has been said, her and Dane were pretty serious, and they were talking about getting married. So, I mean, for those plans to suddenly collapse and just because of your untimely passing, I can imagine that there was a lot of feelings of failure and defeat, feeling defeated on her part. I also feel like because of the way that it happened, perhaps once she was over on the other side with this Chariot card in reverse, there was a lot of not only confusion, but her feeling overwhelmed in those moments, and an inability to face the reality of what had happened to her in that moment. But this Chariot card also speaks to her being on the other side now, that Chariot in reverse, because we're talking about a chariot, right? Something that carries you over onto the other side. And so I feel like that's what that Chariot in reverse represents, her being on the other side now, feeling overwhelmed and feeling defeated now. Again, that Chariot in reverse, it's unexpected loss. I feel like that definitely has everything to do with her crossing and her passing. The next card that came out was the King of Wands in reverse. Now, this talks about excessive and exaggerated ideas and plans. Definitely deliberateness something being deliberately done. And again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, but this could also be referring to her being put on the plane. Now, this King of Wands here, energetically, I'm picking up on the fact that it definitely was a male who carried her onto the plane. And it was like, it was one of those situations, right, with that King of Wands in reverse. I feel like there was a male energy that was making it seem like it was so important that she gets on this plane. And allegedly, it is stated that another celebrity, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but I'll insert their name here later on. It is said that another celebrity offered their plane. Gosh, what is his name? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. He was married to, I think, Lisa Bonet, but I just can't think of his name right now. But it is said that he had offered her a plane, and that was never done. But I feel like with this King of Wands in reverse, there's a male energy being very like rush, like we got to get you on the plane, right? Just making the situation like a severe situation. We've got to get her on the plane. I don't care if she wants to get on the plane or not. She's got to get there. Maybe exaggerating the need for her to get on that plane when she didn't need to be on the plane. She could have waited. Was it Lenny Kravitz? Thank you, Spirit. I think it was Lenny Kravitz that had offered, said allegedly, that he had offered to allow her to use his plane, which would have allowed her to leave at another time. Yeah. But I feel like, and that King of Wands in reverse, that's that Aries energy, right? Not saying that the person was in Aries, but when we're talking about Aries energy, it's very abrupt. It's very like quick. Like, we got to do it now. Like, I don't care what she's saying. Like, very intolerable type of behavior. Like, she need to go on a plane now. I don't care if she's asleep. I don't care if she's tired. I don't care if she has a headache, because allegedly they said she had a headache. I don't care if she has a headache. We need to get on this plane now. So somebody gonna need to go get her and put her on the plane. You're gonna have to carry her onto the plane, okay? That's the energy that I'm picking up. Very quick, very abrupt. And obviously we know with the accident that occurred, the plane crash, it was very abrupt, very quick, very Aries type energy. And as someone who has an Aries in the 8th house, again, that's talking about quick, sudden things, right, that can occur. So even personally for myself, when I had my car accident, I definitely look at my Aries in the 8th house as, one of those things, I in that moment, I felt like that could have been it for me. And I remember during that car accident, just calling out to God and saying, please, not right now. Because I felt like in that moment when I saw those headlights, that was it. Your girl was about to be out of here. But I called out to God and I said, please, not right now, right before the impact took place for me. So again, understanding that Aries energy, the accidents, car accidents, things like that, things that are quick like that, that's very much that Aries energy, okay? The next card that came out was the 5 of Cups in reverse. This one talks more about being hopeful, a reunion, a returning to an old friend, or creating new alliances. So it is said allegedly that she was definitely trying to get back to her boo, Dame Dash, after the filming of the Rock the Boat video. It is said allegedly that she was trying to get back, to her boo. She wanted to get back to her boo, but she just felt real weird and funny about getting on that plane. She didn't want to get on it. And we know that Dame Dash has done plenty of interviews where he's discussed and talked about Aaliyah's fear of planes. So she was very hopeful. She was looking forward to getting back to her boo, that 2 of Cups energy. She was looking forward to that. But obviously from the card spread here, those plans were abrupted. It never happened. A union, that marriage that was supposed to take place between her and Dame never happened. So I feel like she comes in with that love still for Dame, right? There's still love for him, even though he has moved on and he has a wife and he's had children and everything. Once you love someone, you always love them, right? That never goes away. Okay, so I definitely want to put that out there. I think Dame understands that. I think he knows that energetically. But if he happens to watch this video, I'm a small YouTuber, so he may not ever see this video. But if he does happen to ever see this video, I think he already energetically knows that. But again, this is just further validation for Dame, that love is still there. So with this 5 of Cups in reverse here, We know that Aaliyah was moving into movies. She had a lot of plans. A lot of her plans, she feels like there was failure on her part because she didn't get to actually do what it was and conquer what it was that she wanted to obtain, which was, obviously, we know she was clearly moving into the movie industry. She had done a couple of movies. It is said allegedly that she was supposed to be in the Matrix series. And so, you know, there were new alliances that were being formed, plans that were being made. She was very hopeful about that. She was looking forward to that reunion with her boo and looking forward to what was coming forward. She was very hopeful. She had a really good outlook in her future. She had her man. She had a great career in movies that was starting to take off. She was very hopeful about what was coming forward for her. The next card that came out here is the Ten of Wands. And this one talks about just feeling overwhelmed, overburdened. I definitely feel like she was feeling exhausted. But see, this card that comes out here, this Ten of Wands deals with Sag energy. So I feel like in a way that she was feeling pressured. And now we do know that, and this is alleged, okay? This is alleged. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but it is alleged that she was receiving some pressure from a particular artist who's a Sagittarius. That there was some pressure there coming from that individual. Okay, that Ten of Wands also talks about using power for selfish needs. Okay, using that power for selfish needs. And I feel like because of that, she was feeling overburdened and feeling like a lot of pressure was being put on her. Maybe what she had seen so far in the music industry was the reason why she, you know, not only, I mean, obviously she had a desire to be an actress. There was that natural desire there for her. But at the same time, perhaps she was moving into the movie side of things. She felt like moving into the movie side of things, the movie industry, would take her out of that music scene and having to deal with certain individuals who were putting a lot of pressure on her and making her feel overwhelmed. And she felt like moving into the movie industry would help solve some of those problems that she was having to deal with, pressure she was receiving from certain individuals in the music industry. She was trying to get away from that. Like I said, that Ten of Wands, that deals with Sagittarius energy. Okay, so you can take that how you want with that one. Next card that comes out is the Five of Coins. This talks about having a new interest in things. Again, that validates what I was saying. Moving into the movie industry. She had a new interest in being an actress and moving into that. She had films that she was set to film. But there was some disharmony there. And this Five of Coins is a Taurus energy. So it also deals with reversing a bad trend, right? So again, I feel like she felt like moving into the movie industry was going to allow her to be able to, again, kind of reverse some of the things that may have taken place, or maybe some the dealings that, you know, she had been involved in. Like, this was just going to allow her to kind of have a fresh, clean slate. And I feel like that Five of Coins being in reverse and it dealing with that Taurus energy, I think this is in relation to Dame Dash. I feel like Dame Dash definitely would have helped her. He's a businessman. We all know that. And even though he was in the music industry, I feel like he definitely could have assisted her and helped her expand her enterprise and not only move into the film industry, but eventually have her own production company. Like, I feel like together they definitely would have been a power couple. And I feel like they would have had, you know, Dame Dash probably would have created production companies. They would have done those things together because she would have been in the movie industry. This would have allowed Dame Dash to step in. And even though we now know he has a production company, I believe now, but I think that was always going to be the plan. Like, it just would have happened a lot sooner had her untimely passing hadn't occurred. He definitely would have moved into that industry with her. They would have been a power couple together in that industry. This Five of Cups in reverse, though, it definitely talks about there being disharmony in like a relationship or love interest. So I definitely feel like that although she and Dame had a great relationship with each other, I definitely feel like that there could have been a couple of hiccups here and there. Obviously, he was still very much at that time dealing with Jay-Z. He was still, and he's even said it in interviews, that him and Aaliyah had conversations, they talked, and that, you know, I believe there were a few videos that Dame Dash appeared in that he stated that Aaliyah had told him, hey, go ahead and do the video under these conditions. I do feel like there could have been a little bit of a hiccup there. Every relationship is going to have a heated discussion, right? But and that definitely could have taken place with them. But I feel like the disharmony that could have taken place as it relates to this Taurus energy with this 5 of coins in reverse, I feel like that if there was any conflict, it definitely could have been on the side of, you know, maybe Dame having to kind of balance between his professional relationship with Jay-Z and doing business with him, and then still trying to balance having that relationship with Aaliyah, allegedly. So I feel like if there was any disharmony there in the relationship, probably because of that, you know, because even though Dame was very loyal to Aaliyah, he still had business dealings with Jay-Z. And obviously we know Jay-Z also did albums with R. Kelly. And I feel like, you know, with that 5 of coins in reverse, right? You know, even though her career was moving forward, Dame was having to deal with some things on the back end with him and his business dealings with Jay-Z and things of that nature at that time. And I mean, it is said that allegedly that Jay-Z had a thing for Aaliyah as well. So it's kind of like Aaliyah being stuck in the middle, being with Dame Dash, but then you have other people might be preying on your downfall because they didn't get that opportunity with that person. That 5 of Swords, this card that flew out here is a 5 of Swords. It's talking about destruction of others, degrading, adversaries. Yeah, a dishonor. Someone definitely. And this is Aquarius energy. When I think of Aquarius energy, I'm thinking that air energy, right? And then again, we're tying this back to the plane, right? Being on that plane, being in the air, and still feel like that whole incident that happened, she was defeated. She was defeated. She was defeated in her career. And when this talks about destruction of others, like there were other people on that plane. So other people were also affected by this. Really quickly, I wanted to take a commercial break just to touch a little bit more on this 5 of Swords card here. Now, as I mentioned before, it is related to Aquarius energy. And, you know, in doing this reading, I discovered that Aaliyah is an Aquarius rising, which makes a lot more sense. And it just further validates that this reading is related to her. Also, too, when we look at, you know, the incidents leading up to her transition, it was stated in many interviews that Aaliyah shared that she was having dreams of, you know, flying and floating in the air prior to her transition. She had a really big fear of flying. I believe that Aaliyah had the abilities, being an Aquarius rising and a Virgo moon, to perceive things, right? Virgo deals with the mind, it deals with the nervous system. So I believe that Aaliyah, you know, with that combination there, she was able to, you know, perceive that something was, a shift had happened in the air that particular day, and she did not need to be on that plane. Whether it was due to heavy luggage or whatever they said the reason was, I believe that Aaliyah understood that she was not supposed to be on that plane because there was a shift in the air. Also, with her being Aquarius rising here, Aquarius deals with humanity and the people. And so I believe this is why she is so affected and was so bothered by the fact that other people, you know, lost their lives in this accident. She was more concerned about the other people that were affected in this accident, okay? Also, with her being a Cap Sun and a Virgo moon, that would definitely explain why she was more comfortable with ground travel versus air travel, okay? And so, of course, you know, because on that particular day of her transition, she understood the assignment. She was very persistent about not wanting to be on that plane, but her wishes were not honored. And this is where the dishonor comes from with this card placement as well. I can't remember how many people were on that plane. I mean, this is a Five of Swords card, but I can't recall how many people were on the plane with her. It also talks about adversaries. So I'm not going to make, listen, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But I definitely feel like that Aaliyah feels like that there definitely was adversaries that could have been involved. Okay? There could have been adversaries involved. I don't know if there were 5 people involved or if there were 5 people on the plane. I can't recall if there were 5 people that passed away. But with that 5 of Swords there, definitely. Yeah. And she's feeling very disappointed. Feeling very disappointed about it all. And that's just how she feels. She feels disappointed, betrayed. She feels like her success was abandoned, right? Because she was taken away. Yeah. 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 But the thing is, you know, even though she feels that way, she now understands that, like they say, when one door closes, another one opens, right? And even though she transitioned to the other side and all of her plans and her career and everything was completely taken away from her because that's how she's feeling, that abandonment, she feels like, you know, almost like even though it wasn't her fault that the accident took place, she feels again like she abandoned her plans in a way, right? She just kind of feeling that way. And with that 8 of Cups here, it also speaks to someone being kind of shy and modest. And we know that Aaliyah was very modest. And I kind of feel like she kind of came off as shy, perhaps. And that 3 of Cups was the other card that came out here. This speaks to there being a resolution, though, a conclusion, definitely. So I feel like perhaps with all of this stuff that's going on right now in the industry, maybe we're going to get some more answers that are going to come through. We're going to finally get a conclusion to the entire situation that took place. But definitely with that 3 of Cups card, it speaks to there being a lot of healing she's had to do on the other side in order to accept that. She had to heal through all of these emotions that she experienced from this event, from this entire accident. She had to do a lot of work, guys, a lot of work. But now she's feeling, you know, fulfilled on the other side because now she's able to accomplish more. You know, she may not have been able to accomplish her goals that she wanted to do in the physical realm, but she is definitely able to get a lot more accomplished on the other side. So she's feeling a lot more satisfied. She's done a lot of healing on the other side, guys. She has a lot more solace now. Her energy is a lot more at peace. She definitely continues to be inspired by the arts. That's going to always be a part of her, a love for her. And I feel like on the other side, she's able to do a lot more for women who have been in domestic relationships. I feel like she's doing a lot more work on the other side when it comes to the arts, whether it be music or movies or whatever the case may be. She's fulfilled. She's okay. Okay. She's happy. She's content. She had to do a lot of work to get there. Clearly, as I would imagine anyone would have to do when they go to sleep on Earth in the 3rd dimensional realm and then wake up on the other side, right? And then realizing that everything they had planned, their entire career, the career that they've longed to have is now over in the physical realm. But she was able to, through the healing work that she's done on the other side, she has now been able to have a lot more solace and you know, a lot more of a resolve to what she felt like were her problems and her issues, which were not being able to accomplish her goals career-wise or even, you know, relationship-wise. Wanting to have, you know, the family, be married, have a great career. Like she's been able to work through all of that, guys. And she definitely is in a more peaceful place. And I think she wants people to know that, even though a lot of this is coming back up because of what's going on in the news. I think she wants you all to know, as her fans, and even me, because I'm still a fan, I think she wants everyone to know that she's cool. She's cool. She's chilling. She's all right. She's had time to heal. She's a lot more fulfilled on the other side, and she's been able to do a lot more than she probably would have ever been able to do on the other side. Being able to still help other women who have been victims of any kind, whether it is sexual abuse, assault, domestic violence, helping women that are being mistreated in the industry. Like, she's doing a lot more work, guys, on the other side. And I think with all of this stuff coming out in the news right now, I wouldn't be surprised if she's on the other side helping a lot of women, you know, that are needing to come out and come forward when it comes to women that have been victims in the music industry. So I feel like she's feeling a lot more fulfilled being a part of the justice team on the other side and helping out those women that need the help, that are still here. Yeah, that's what I have on that. And I'm gonna end it there, because I think that's a good note to end it on. I just want to thank Aaliyah for coming through. I want to thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy. I appreciate what you have done for us here, those of us who loved your music. I appreciate what you did here on the earthly realm. And I thank you, and I appreciate and show gratitude for what you are doing on the other side. And it's nice to know, at least for me as a fan of her, that her work is still continuing on the other side. We may not be able to physically see it, but it's being done. And she's doing a lot more work with saving women on the other side than she probably wouldn't have been able to do while she was here. Okay? And that's what I'm getting from that. Okay? All right, I'm just going to pull one final oracle card, and then we're just going to close this transmission out. I want to thank you guys for bearing with me through this reading. It went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I hope that I was able to provide. Those of you who are fans of Aaliyah, I hope I was able to provide you with some type of peace and closure. Those of you who are longtime fans of her, you probably have watched a ton of other videos and things of that nature, but, you know, I just want to add my little 2 cents to the pot. And just let you guys know that Aaliyah is chilling. She is cool. I can feel her energy starting to pull back. Thank you so much, Aaliyah, again, for coming through. I'm going to let you and allow you to send your energy back. Yeah, the last card is partnership and alliances. Okay, again, she's working on the other side, guys. Okay? She's working on the other side. That number 3 at the top deals with communication, okay? Communicating from the other side, right? She's doing a lot more work over there, and she's happy with that. She's content with that. She's happy that she could still be a part of the industry, the arts, but also be able to serve her purpose on a larger scale on the other side. And I feel like that is what that partnership and alliances once again indicates, because I know it came out earlier in the reading and we kind of touched on that. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. It was nice coming back on here and doing reading after being away for a while. Definitely I'll be back with more readings, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, love you guys. See you later. Bye.